In this video, I'm going to answer the common question of how much water should I drink in a day? Hi, I'm Dr. Zabrowski from NewVisionExcel.com. As always, if you're new to the channel, it is such a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that little bell notification, and I'm going to help you excel your health and your life. In this video, we're talking about how much water should I drink in a day? And so this is a very common question that we get, and there's a lot of confusion around it because, rule of thumb is that you should drink 50% of your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 160 pounds, you divide that in half, that's 80 pounds. And then you should drink 80 ounces of water a day. And then of course, change that according to your weight. But the thing is that number is so arbitrary. What if you're, pregnant? What if you're nursing? What if you're an athlete? What if you're sitting in a desk chair all day? What if you're doing a manual labor job out in the sun? So there's so many different variables that go into it. So I really don't like that number. So anyway, I'm going to give you some different things that you can look for to see whether or not you are dehydrated and you need more water. And then I also want to give you some different strategies around drinking water, okay? So first of all, instead of using the 50% of your body weight in ounces, I go ahead and go with 40 to 60% of your body weight in ounces, okay? So you may need less than that, you may need more than that. And so let's go ahead and look at some of these things that may give you an indication that you need more water. First of all, do you get headaches? When I see people are getting headaches, it's one of the first questions I always ask is, have you been drinking enough water? And a lot of times I'll get, well, actually, I only drank 1 or 2 glasses today. And so that's a very minimal amount of water. Definitely need to increase if you're getting some headaches. Constipation is a big one too because your bowels start to become sluggish if you're not consuming enough water. And so in order to avoid constipation, you want to keep the water intake up. Next big one is muscle cramping. Okay, so this is one that if you start getting the muscle cramping, the muscle twitching around the mouth, around the eyes, then there's a good chance, once again, you're not consuming enough water. I mean, I know for me, it's always a struggle because it's like, I feel like I drink so much water, but it seems to be never enough, especially if I'm having really hard workouts that I'm doing. And so, for instance, the other night I woke up with just a nasty cramp in my leg and I thought, well, I'll get up and walk it off. It was so bad I couldn't even walk. So anyway, if you're getting that muscle cramping even in the night, then you definitely need to make sure that you're drinking some more water. And we'll talk about electrolytes in a minute. Now, the next one here is brain fatigue. So if you're having a little bit of confusion, like your brain just feels tired, once again, think to yourself, well, I better grab some water because there's a good chance you haven't had enough. And then dry mouth. If you're getting a dry mouth, that's a good signal from your body that you need to get some water. And last here is bright yellow urine. And so I'm not talking about bright yellow urine after you consumed your vitamins. I'm just talking about throughout the day. You notice that your urine is very yellow. Then there's once again a good chance you're not drinking enough water. And then the other thing that you can look to that I didn't write on here is you can look to skin elasticity. I mean, this is an age-old trick that I learned when I was a kid, that if you actually pinch the skin on the back of your hand and it doesn't retract quickly and it isn't very elastic, and then there's a good chance that you are dehydrated as well. So we want to make sure that we're getting enough water on a regular basis because a lot of different health concerns can come out of not drinking enough water. Kidney stones, gallbladder issues, hormonal imbalance, blood pressure rise, all these different things. So we want to make sure that we're getting enough water on the regular and consuming 40 to 60% in ounces of our body weight. So let's go ahead and talk about some different strategies around water. So first of all, we want to drink simply water, okay? So many people are waking up in the morning, they're grabbing a coffee, and then they're getting a juice, and then for lunch they're grabbing a soda, and then another coffee, and then so on and so forth. But the thing is that we want to make sure that we're just consuming good, pure water because, I mean, sure, you like to have your morning coffee and all that, but if we're consuming water only in the way of sugary drinks and coffee and things like that, then our body's not getting the hydration that it needs from it. So we need to just kind of focus on shifting to just good pure water and stop focusing so much on these different fancy drinks that are sweet and that have different flavors and artificial colors in it. We don't want that stuff. So we got to just stick to the simple water. So the next topic here of discussion is purity. We always want to make sure we're drinking good pure water. If you live in the city, then there's a good chance you have chlorine in your water, or fluoride in your water. If you live in the country, you can have things such as arsenic in your water. So we want to make sure that no matter where we're living, we're always getting good, pure water. And if you really want to know that your water is pure, I always recommend using distilled water. Somebody's going to come at me and say, well, Dr. Zarowski, you don't want to drink distilled water because it lacks proper electrolytes, proper trace minerals. Well, here's the thing. I would rather have good pure water and worry about adding trace minerals than drinking water that is toxic. So making sure you're getting that good pure water is very important. Next is, are you hungry? And so what I mean by this is that many people are thirsty and they confuse it for hunger. So they go and grab more food. And then, they still have this urge. So they go grab more food. But the truth is that they're really just thirsty. So you know what? As a rule of thumb, always make sure you have a glass of water if you feel that you're hungry, and then go on and eat your meal or get some food from there. And then next here is electrolytes, okay? So, you heard me talking about the cramping, you hear me talking about the twitching, okay? So that is a good chance that you have an electrolyte imbalance. And here's what gets even more confusing about it. If you drink too much water, it'll flush out electrolytes and cause an imbalance. If you drink too little water, you'll have an electrolyte imbalance. So, wow, is it hard to be perfect. But anyway, we want to, still, adhere to this different rule here, 40 to 60% in ounces, and then add electrolytes to our water if need be. Okay, you could add things such as pink Himalayan sea salt to your water, and that's loaded with trace minerals, or you can get an electrolyte balancing drink, and that can help as well. Now, last here is variety, okay? I get it. Some people go, I just don't want to drink water all day long. It's so boring, okay? So add a little spice and add a little variety to that. Some things that you can do, first of all, is, switch it up with some sparkling water. That's a great way. The other thing that you can do is you can add fruit to your water, okay? There's actually these different containers out there that are really neat where you can add sliced up fruit to the bottom of the container and then you put the water on the top, and so you get a little bit of flavored water, whether it's lemon, strawberries, whatever you want. It adds a little bit of variety. So anyway, when we look at how much water should I drink in a day, we want to stick to 40 to 60% of our body weight in ounces as a rule of thumb, but you may need more, you may need less. Look to these different signs here. Other than that, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. If you have any further questions, put it in the comments section below, and then check out my other videos. I do tons of great videos on fasting and just all these different topics that are going to help you increase your health. I'll see you in the next video.